Good morning. I think the Reverend Laurie and I are up here being quite giddy because for the first time in a long time, there is sunshine, yay! Just hope it lasts longer than a few hours. I'm Jane Perkins, and Laurie Whittemore is our Reverend Doctor this morning and will be leading the service. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Saco and Biddeford. This service is being live streamed and recorded. For those joining us on YouTube, cataract surgery, I have to remember I can't read anymore. We encourage you to have a candle or a chalice to light when you light ours here in a few moments. Wherever you are, wherever you come from, whomever you love, we are glad you are here with us today. The theme for the month of May is imagination. We invite you to contemplate this theme with us today and carry it into your daily life when you leave here. There are a couple of announcements that I would like to share with you. In support of our unhoused neighbors and Seeds of Hope, we are collecting some warm weather items during our offering for the month of May. Please see your order of service for details. Second announcement is to invite you to sign up to lead a summer service. Service is from 8:30 to 9 in the morning in the parish hall. Details are with the sign-up sheet by the church office, and you can also talk with any member of the worship ministry. Reverend Laurie, Reverend Nikki Norman, Diane Eicher, Sonia Gherkin, Kelsey Holt, or Ellie Rolnick. We commit to be co-stewards of this land owned by the Wabanaki Confederation and to work toward a world that is just and thriving for the whole web of life. We invite you to take home the order of service for information and announcements, or you may leave it for recycling as you exit the sanctuary. Please silence your cell phone.
Good morning. We come together in this time and this place to rediscover what it means to be in community, to rediscover what it means to be community, to renew our faith in goodness and beauty, to reaffirm the way of an open and full heart, to rekindle the flame of memory and hope, to reclaim a vision of fairness and justice and mercy, to recommit to grace, both given and received. Welcome to this house of hope. We are glad that you're with us today. Now stand as you're able and join us in singing hymn number 346. Where we turn and greet our neighbors.
Good morning. Okay, here we go. So there's no information about the choir music in the order of service today, so I just want to give credit where credit is due. Our first piece is called Peace Before Us. It's from a Navajo prayer, and it was arranged by Nick Page. Our second piece is called Be the Change. The music is by Mark Kaplan and Colin Britt. These are words from Gandhi, and it is from the Justice Songbook.
us peace under our feet. Peace within us, peace above us, let all around us be peace. Oh, let all around us be peace. Joy before us, joy behind us, joy under our feet. Joy within us, joy above us, let all around us be joy. Oh, let all around us be joy.
Love before us, love behind us, love under our feet. Love within us, love above us, let all around us be love.
Oh, let all around us be love. Hope before us, hope behind us, hope under our feet. Hope within us, hope above us, let all around us be hope. Oh, let all around us be hope. Oh, let all around us be hope.
This is the time in our service. We invite you to come forward if you would like. Share with us what is in your heart, whether it's something very joyful going on or whether it's a sorrow that has touched you in any way. Light a candle if you want. Tell us who you are.
Good morning. My name is Sarah. It's Memorial Day weekend. I need to remember old friends. Mike Smith, killed in Vietnam on July 3rd. I can't remember what year. My dear friend Jimmy Wilbur, on his very first flight mission, died among 17 that died in the ditching in the Atlantic Ocean. And my old roommate Frank Radzwitz. They are all gone, but they're alive in my heart.
My name is Randa. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I lit 700 candles just now. That's what it feels like I have on my heart. One is for this enormous evil bill that is going to take away so many rights and so many services for so many poor and vulnerable people, all with one little vote, and I feel so powerless. One is for a particular family whom I have not met yet, whose breadwinner is in detention, and they're behind in rent, and. Another for my temporary roommate who is breaking up with her Congolese family who want her to get married. And there's just so many things going on. Peace be with us.
Good morning. My name's Lori, and as Sarah said, it is Memorial Day tomorrow, or today. I'm not sure which. And I lit a candle for my father. Who served in the Air Force, in the United States Air Force, for 28 years, and had to leave because of health issues. And he also, a part of him died in Vietnam. And I hold him in my heart today. Thank you.
I'm Catherine Garrity. I just wanted to say that I appreciate everything that everybody did to make this a free country, and we have to keep hope in our hearts, but it's hard. But I also wanted to share something good. My daughter, her mother-in-law, Faye, came from Kentucky, and she's here today. And her sister-in-law, Marion, came from Colorado, and she's here today. And we're just so happy to have them with us because family is the best, right? So thank you all for everything.
I'm Sam, and I just wanted to praise my daughter turned 4 this past weekend, and we had a fun time, and she enjoyed her birthday. So that was it.
Happy birthday, daughter.
All right, I lit 2 candles. One is from Yoel. I don't know if you recall Yoel. He was here temporarily teaching at Ocean Park and had to have an abrupt departure from Ocean Park and leaves us very sadly. He wanted to come and say goodbye to everybody, and he didn't have the chance, but I told him I would light a candle and tell him, ask all of you to hold him in your hearts as he makes his way back to Sweden, I think, in an unexpected way. And I lit the other candle in gratitude for all of our veterans who have served heartily and graciously. And I wonder how it feels right now for you, but we love and respect all you did for our democracy, and we will not take it lightly right now.
It's our custom to light one last candle for the thoughts, joyful and sad, that are unspoken in us. Please hold what has been shared today with you as you go forth into the week.
Let's take a breath together and be in a spirit of reflection. We hold together in this sanctuary, in this good company, all of the joy that we bring in here to share with one another. We shoulder together the sadness and struggle, the loss, the weight we've carried through the years for the service we've done in the many ways we've done it. We hold in our hearts today the veterans who have lost, but have served this country in support of our democracy. And we hold great hope this morning that all will be transformed in all the ways of love and kindness and justice and mercy. And may it be so.
This morning's reading is Hope's Price. Hope is not a gentle guest. It barges in still dripping rain, tracks muddy footprints on the floor you've just swept clean, and settles stubborn in your favorite chair. It asks for everything: your patience, your pride, your willingness to look foolish when the world rolls its eyes. It wants you to risk loving when you know how loss feels. Hope is the last coin you press into the slot of a rusted machine. The call you make after midnight when you're sure no one will answer. It's your heart, raw and open, offered up again to the storm. But sometimes that gamble pays. A door cracks open, a voice calls back, and you realize the cost was never wasted. Hope is expensive, yes, but giving up is even more.
And now stand as you're able and join me in singing, O God, our help in ages past. I just realized as I was reading this, I looked down, and the words by Isaac Watts were from 1647, adapted from Psalm 90. 1674, I'm sorry, I was dyslexic. And the music by William Croft, 1678 to 1727. These words, obviously the Psalms still speak to us, but these specific words in this song feel like they resonate even more with me today and instill hope. From 1674 to 1748. Even though these sound old, these hymns, they still speak to us. So I just wanted to say that. Hope is expensive, said that poem, but giving up is even more so. giving up is even more expensive. And we do not give up here on each other, on life, on possibility, on promise of justice and mercy, on our principles, on our future together. We don't give up. We don't allow each other to give up. And that is a wellspring of hope for me. And it is expensive, and it is hard, and it is not cheap, because it asks something of us. And we come here to commit to doing that, to self-examine even when it's uncomfortable, to choose to step forward even if we disagree or are discouraged or feel hurt. I feel the weight of these words in all of my life right now personally. In our society right now, it is almost impossible to not give up. It is hard to remain focused on possibility and promise, but my faith and the values and my family and this community, and not to mention my job here, which requires me and reminds me that even in my moments of disillusionment and anger and many other things, I have promised to hope and love and hope some more. I hope you feel called to that hope as well, even when it is hard and even when it hurts. I have committed to remain faithful in taking the next first step forward and believing, hoping it will lead me on a life-giving path forward, a path that leads to a legacy. And when I pause and take a breath, friends, I do actually believe that profoundly. It does require an eyes wide open approach, a not burying your head in the sand approach to life, and that's why it's expensive, right? You have to pay attention. You have to do your part in creating the alternative that you want to see. Whether it's a new country or a new community, it means not being caught up in hateful swirls of political rhetoric or hurtful gossip. It means letting go of past wrongs. It means choosing to look at situations and people through new lenses, again and again and again, if that's needed. It means looking at how you can transform what you find challenging, not waiting for it to be transformed in another way or dismissing it altogether, and rising to the occasion of making that choice every day in kind, positive, affirming ways, never giving up. And this is never easy. Our faith, however, our faith that we profess in these four walls is not cheap, and it compels us to stay the course. It compels us not to give up. When I was a kid, I used to play this little game in my head, and I think you might too. I'd imagine if I wished hard enough, I'd win the lottery. And if I won the lottery, I'd give it away. So let me win, and I'll make everybody's life better. That's what I used to imagine. Sometimes I still do, by the way. I'm going to replace that organ or fix it. I'm going to replace the roof here. I keep thinking if I win that lottery. And it's a kind of glittery hope, easy, effortless, and almost weightless. And back then I didn't have a name for it, but now I call it cheap hope. And by the way, I still employ it sometimes, like I said, so I know it exists and it's okay. My wish for megabucks has completely refinished the organ several times. But maybe you felt this hope as well. When news is bad, or when you get a tough diagnosis, or when the world just feels like too much, there's a temptation to reach for hope that doesn't really cost us anything. The kind that says things will work out somehow, but doesn't ask us to change ourselves or do anything. Doesn't ask us to risk or to build or to be uncomfortable. We can rest on platitudes and put the hard work of cultivating hope and change out of our minds if we just say it's all going to be okay. And I don't not recommend that, because sometimes that's where we need to be. But in some respects, that is cheap hope, and we have our part in creating true hope. I think of it religiously in some memes I see on Facebook about Jesus, and they pose the question, why, Jesus, do you let people starve? Why do you allow suffering? And the answer is, from Jesus, I didn't. I gave you the capacity to feed people, and you did not feed people. I gave you the capacity to extend mercy, and you did not do that. You were waiting for a hero, a savior. You didn't want to do the hard work yourself. And I think about that sometimes, especially in a community like ours, a Unitarian Universalist community. I think it's in our DNA to answer this question how I would deem correctly. We who are known for asking questions, for refusing to look away from hard stuff, for insisting that we don't get to skip the happy ending without doing the work first. We are not people of cheap hope here. I believe that firmly. But not everybody can be in the same place at the same time. We can't all be committed to that change at the same time, and we have to make space for people who aren't there in the moment. Not everyone is able to engage with this on a day-to-day basis. So the other side of the reality is translating that part of the work is not to leave anybody out and not leave anybody behind. Hoping, working for hope, working for transformation, and being kind to people who can't get there yet. Dietrich Bonhoeffer, the German theologian who stood up against the Nazis, talked about cheap grace. I think that's where the term cheap hope came to me, meaning a kind of comfort for people that asks nothing of them. Not transformation, not regret. It asks nothing. So you get grace just from being, and that's a whole theological argument there. But his perspective was, here we are in the midst of great evil, and God isn't just going to deliver us. We have to do something. And he died for that belief. So don't avoid the problems, but avoid the possibility of spiritual growth, the possibility of digging in deeper to our principles here to transform ourselves, but to transform others who you might disagree with. Your job is to transform others. And that's part of your spiritual journey, which will transform ourselves. Cheap hope leaves us unchanged. It deadens our spirituality. We are meant for change and growth and challenge. We are meant for not giving up. In this time when the world is on fire, we are built for not giving up. The world needs us to live out our principles and values, to model that back to the world. And that's the hardest challenge of all right now. The hope that really matters, the hope that gets us through, isn't cheap. It's hard-won and a little battered, for that matter. It comes from sitting with grief of loss, and not running away from asking the tough questions of ourselves and of each other. When silence would be easier. Not showing up for the work even when you're not sure it'll make a difference. I mean, showing up for the work, even when you don't think it'll make a difference. Calling your congressman, showing up at a protest, or just staying the course, getting up, calling a friend, checking in on people. Doing the work even when it hurts, even when it stings, but choosing the hard but loving path, even when it is harder than hard. Real hope is the kind that walks into a hospital or a courtroom or a protest or a family argument and says, I don't know how this will turn out. I don't know how to fix it, but I'm here and I care and I love you and I'm not leaving. It's the kind of hope that stays up late with a friend who struggles, or volunteers for a job that nobody else wants, or keeps showing up at the city council meeting year after year speaking truth about something even though it may never change it. And I know hope is alive here. Our call right now is to continue to discern what hope means for our community and how we keep moving the community forward. We have to be in continuous, respectful, truthful dialogue about what our call is to cultivate this hope and to cultivate love. Because if we're not doing it here, how many times have I said this? We're not modeling it for the world, and if we can't do it here, how can we expect that of the world? The world needs it. The world needs us. And I will listen to you. I will respect you. I will honor you in our differences and disagreements, knowing that I am not whole without you. I am not whole without your whole truth. And the fullness of where we arrive on this journey together needs what I bring and what you bring and what we make of that together. It isn't this or that. It isn't me or you. It isn't my way or your way. It's our way together. And we have our principles and tools and commitment, if not rightful stubbornness, which a lot of us have. And we must cultivate hope. Václav Havel, the Czech playwright and dissident, wrote, "Hope is not the conviction that something will turn out well or something will turn out specifically, but the certainty that something will make sense of it in the end, regardless of how it turns out. We can make meaning of it, and we can transform it." That's the hope that changes things. Not because it guarantees victory or guarantees a good outcome necessarily, or guarantees the outcome we want or the happiness that we want, but because it refuses to give up in ways that we don't even understand. Not giving up when we don't get our way, but continuing to share who we are in spite of it. This is a very hopeful message. It's a call to a deeper, richer kind of hope, an expensive hope, one that is honest about suffering, that tells the truth about injustice, that faces reality with open eyes and still chooses to act. And this hope is costly because it demands our participation, even when it's not comfortable. It demands that we not only wish for our individual world to be better, but also the world at large, and commit to work for it. And here's the beautiful part: when we give up cheap hope, we find each other deeply. We build communities where it's safe to grieve, where it's safe to show our true selves, where it's safe to rage, to dream, to make mistakes, to try again. We gather not because we believe magic will save us, but because we believe we can save each other. We can save each other here. We believe we can help each other on each other's spiritual journeys. I think that's in the words that we say. And we commit to that, one act of stubborn hope at a time. We gather knowing that we don't have all the answers, perhaps even some of the answers, but together we can get there together, truthfully, in the questions. Together we can make things better. We can make us better. That's why we're here. Hope is hard because it asks us to believe in something we can't see yet. That's faith. It's a gamble, really. You're betting that things will get better when there's no proof they will. Most of the time, life doesn't hand out guarantees. In fact, probably all the time. Bad news can hit like a tornado, and staying optimistic starts to feel naive, if not a little embarrassing. But even the breaking and tearing down of things remind us that we are people of rebirth, renewal, resurrection, even when we have no idea what that means. It takes guts to hope when the odds are against you. Disappointment and disillusionment has a way of piling up, and every failure or heartbreak leaves a mark. Eventually, you start to protect yourself by expecting less of yourself and other people, telling yourself that you don't care about the outcome, that you're fine either way, expecting this to turn out poorly, or people will disappoint you. It feels safer to be cynical. Cynicism is safe, right? If you don't get your hopes up, you can't be let down, but faith demands you stay in the game and you practice your hope. Deep down, everybody wants to believe and perhaps knows that things can and will change in ways that you haven't even imagined yet. Sometimes in ways that get worse before they get better. Sometimes you have to leave a vacuum to see what fills it. Perhaps you feel that way when you read the newspaper each day. That's part that makes hope so stubborn, that you keep reading the newspaper, hoping for something different. It keeps showing up even when you try to smother it, and maybe that's why hope feels so uncomfortable. It refuses to let you get numb. Hope keeps you vulnerable, and that's its own kind of strength, but it's also its own kind of pain. If you ever felt hope slipping away, take heart. You're not alone. The kind of hope we need isn't about being cheerful all the time, although we do appreciate when you are. It's found in being kind and open and compassionate and expecting more of each other and holding each other accountable for that expectation. It's about showing up even when we're tired or sad or hurt. It's about choosing love even when cynicism, anger, or resentment feels easier. It's about building together a world that is more just, more loving, and more real. So I'm going to add, what time is it? I'm going to add something right now. I'm going to add a little bit of a Lectio Divina, which is actually an ancient way that monks would study the Bible, but we're not studying the Bible this morning. We are going to study the passage that was written, the poem. So I'm going to reread that passage, and as you hear the words, as you hear those words again, notice if a word or phrase stands out to you, and hold that in your mind's eye. So I'm going to ask you to close your eyes and take a breath and hear these words from Hope's Price. Hope is not a gentle guest. It barges in, still dripping rain, tracks muddy footprints on the floor that you just cleaned up, and settles stubborn in your favorite chair. It asks for everything: your patience, your pride, your willingness to look foolish when the world rolls its eyes. It wants you to risk loving when you know how loss feels. Hope is the last coin you press into the slot of the rusted machine, the call you make after midnight when you're sure nobody will answer. It's your heart, raw and open, offered up again to the storm. And sometimes the gamble pays. A door cracks open, a voice calls back, and you realize the cost was never wasted. Hope is expensive, yes, but giving up is more. Take a deep breath. What word or phrase stood out to you in there? Picture that word or that phrase or that image in your mind's eye, and let your eye rest on that for a moment while we continue to breathe. What does that word or phrase or image have to say to you right now? How does it show up in your life? What is relevant about it? Think about this as we take some more breaths together. I invite you to consider how that image or word or phrase applies to this community right now. I invite you to think about that as we take some more breaths together. May we always choose kindness, compassion, and openness with each other here, so that we can be those beacons in the world today for our friends and our neighbors and the country, especially when it's hard and uncomfortable, because hope is expensive, and giving up on the world right now, on ourselves, on each other, is not an option. It is too costly. May we remain hopeful and hope-filled in all things in spite of that cost, because there is no cheap hope here. And may that always be so. When we gather together as a community, we bring the gifts of ourselves, our hearts and spirits, our time and energy, our talents and skills to support the work of this church here in the walls and out in the larger community. We also bring our gift of generosity, giving what we have, that the church can continue. As always, half our offering today will be sent out in the larger community to support the work of an agency. This month we're sharing it with YCAC, York County Community Action Corporation. We're also collecting items for folks who spend time at Seeds of Hope. If you're watching from home, donations may be made through the Give button at the top of our webpage, uuchurchsacobideford.com, or checks can be mailed to UUCSB, 60 School Street, Saco, Maine. This morning's offering will now be received. And join me in the words for extinguishing our chalice. As we release this flame from its faithful service today, we allow the spark in each of us to burn on, to warm our compassion, to fire our delight, to light our paths today, tomorrow, and always. And join me in singing This Is My Song. be seated. May a blessing of hope be upon us. The power of love direct us. May the peace and the challenge and the promise of community preserve our going out and our coming in. From this time forth until we meet again, go forth in hope and joy.
Change you want to see in the world, be the change you want to see in the world, be the change you want to see in the world, and change will come to you. Be the voice you want to hear in the world, be the voice you want to hear in the world, be the voice.
Our service has now concluded. Thank you so much for coming. I don't think there's coffee hour this morning proper. There's no coffee, but certainly feel free to gather in the parish hall and chat. And have a great week.